and hit this little button right here, and you'll feel you'll feel it vibrate and a little red.
Nothing.
Let me see. You should just hit it. Oh, right
first?
here. This is just a little mic.
Oh.
So
I held it into
record. All right, dude.
After you started this, I thought about it.
Yeah.
You know, I was friends with Tyler.
Sure.
When we both moved here, this is something he would have loved.
Oh,
Just the thought. I mean, especially if he jumped in here with you.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's that's one of the goals is to get to know people a little better and do a little chit chat, get some coffee, have some laughs. You know what I mean? How long have you been at Evolve?
At Evolve, well, since 2015.
Oh.
But I was there. I knew when I was freelancers with Tyler. And then he bought a piece of gear, started Evolve. Evolve was his freelance company name. So I would freelance for him first, full time, 2015.
And so like when you were like freelancing for him, what was like the gear? What was like? Do you remember what
First piece of gear he bought was a Screen Pro 2.
Yeah.
Before I was at LNG, bought it before anybody had it.
Sure. So he would show up and you were just opping.
That time he did most of them. Sure. I did one or two. He had a Screen Pro with just a rack with 2 monitors and a preview program.
Yeah.
And that was it.
How long would you say? Well, how long would you say you've been in the business?
My whole life, really.
Yeah.
But in this business and actually working and I guess making money in it, 1999.
Oh wow.
But my dad worked at a TV studio when I was younger.
Oh, cool.
So in the summers I would go in and there would be these shows down here in Florida. And I was 10 years old in summer, and I would go and it'd be 3/4 inch tape. And they'd bring the 3/4 inch tape, and I put it in one machine.
Yeah.
And there'd be 10 VCRs or 20, whatever, attached to it. Hit play, record real time, and I would sit there and watch it until it was done. And those are the dubs. And then I put them in cases. I would label them and put them in a dry room in storage.
Whoa.
And they would never, which kind of, when I came into this industry, started doing this, I was like, I know nobody watches these records. I was the one when I was 10 putting them in a room, and EY never watched them. But I've been around it for a while.
How long have you been a PM?
Just since after the pandemic.
How do you like how do you like the new position, and like do you feel like you're?
I like it better.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would. When I was an engineer when pandemic hit. When I came back, Tyler approached me if I want to be a PM. At first, I was like, not really. It took me a month to think about it. Mm-hmm. And then I just thought about the grind of, going out, how it is, going out and doing all the shows.
Sure.
You got to put your foot in the dirt to make every dollar.
Seeing other PMs, and then, you in your position, and then seeing what other PMs do. Yeah. I could see how that could be, like, one thing to consider, you know what I mean? So, like, how would you feel? I know you just had a baby. Right, congratulations. So, like, how would you feel like coming into this as a PM and like having a baby? Like, has Evolve? Like, how is that support with Evolve? Like, you're able to stay home.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Even
that's awesome.
I knew Evolve would be really good at it, but it was even better than I thought.
Sure.
Like, even when Joanna we were about a month from being due.
Yeah.
Bob was like, "Stay home, enjoy your wife before you have the baby." And I never thought of that. I was like, "Oh, it's before you." I thought just after I needed time off. So I never really. As a PM, it wasn't. I can always answer the phone. And it was just easier to be that when you be a PM when you're having a baby.
Got it.
But they were way more accommodating than I thought. They were so helpful. I almost felt guilty. Evolve was helping me so much with it.
So like when you're out in the field, right? Because as a project manager for Evolve, you're making sure, everything on site's there, everything's accounted for, all the homework you've done, all the pre-pro, I mean, you name it, right? And you get to wherever it is you need to go, make sure everything's there. So, like, one thing I keep asking everyone is, that do it, like, hopping in the car with me, I'm like, man, the shop seems pretty, like, easy to get in and out of, you know what I mean? Because normally for me, in the past, showing up as a tech or on a tour or whatever, you're just in and out of the city, right?
Yeah.
So being here at Evolve is kind of like my first run of like driving here, going to the office, doing what I gotta do, and then seeing the distance to the convention center. So like where I'm getting at with this is like you know, how do you feel logistically, the shop location, the logistics, and like, for example, if you need something right away, how do you feel like the zoning, where everything's at? Like, do you feel
I think it's great.
Yeah.
The Orlando office is in a perfect location.
Yeah.
Haven't been to the new Dallas or Vegas one yet. I know where it is.
You'll love it.
But I like, you know, being most of our shows are in those areas, it's easy to get gear.
Yeah.
We know a lot of companies to get it from if we're outside that. But as a PM too, if I'm on a show locally, sometimes it depends when it is, I'll just drive back, grab it, throw it in my truck, bring it to show site.
Like, sometimes out in the shows, you know, you'll run into like situations like, dude, like you can't explain it, right? Like, you know, sharing funny stories or like war stories even.
Yeah.
What was your first, out of the top of your head, do you have like a memory of one of your first experiences, either as a PM or on a regular Evolve show? Do you have anything that stands out that's like, oh dude, okay, I got one for you?
I mean, I have a few. I don't know if Husky told you about our mapping in Charleston. We went out there, it was me, Husky, there's like 4 of us. This is back in lamp projectors, and we were projection mapping, which we're new at. This must be 2015 or earlier. And hang 4 projectors on a truss with towers. Then it starts raining, so you go up my plywood, put it on top, wrap it on blue tarps, then you know, swaying, and you know you're done with everything. Then you just walk to your wherever and sleep and pray that when you wake up in the morning, everything was fine. Everything was. Those lamp barcodes kicked on. They were all 90% aligned. It was pretty scary, but we were also sleeping at a dorm, which we got woke up early. We didn't know where we were. We thought it was empty. We woke up and it was noise, people getting food. We're like, what the hell is this? Then we go out and our projectors were still fine.
Yeah. Dang. So originally you're an engineer, right?
Originally?
Yeah.
No, I started actually doing pipe and drape in '99.
Whoa.
And then I was
some P&D.
Funny thing that we're getting coffee now, because I'm sitting there doing P&D with a good friend of mine, Zamir. We were both working at P&D together, and I'm sitting there lifting these bases up, and I'm like, look at those guys back in video. They're just laughing, drinking coffee,
kicking it.
They're all having cups of coffee and laughing. And I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So then I started talking to them. Then I became a stagehand for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Then I became a camera op for about a year. Then I was projection. So I did every level.
Sure.
Became an engineer probably 06, 07.
Right.
And so really, you throw me in, I could pretty much cover any position in video, know every piece of gear in it.
Got it. So like me being, you know, a media server and like kind of the mapping side of what I do, you know, as like an outsider coming in or like someone entry coming in, of like what to expect of like things that happen when you're setting things up, right? If that makes sense. So like if like these, you have to have certain conversations when you're setting stuff up, right? Yeah. Even if you can't do it beforehand, literally when you get to show site and all your stuff's there, and like you have to communicate with like your engineer or whoever it is, you know, if you're sitting in the media server position, right? So I'm assuming you're fairly versed in like E2, right?
Yep.
So there's this thing right now with like understanding EDIDs and like E2 and things like that. I want to get like your thoughts on like let's say there's a brand new person coming in, you know, they did some training, stuff like that, and you know they're trying to understand this whole EDID concept and really why you should use it, how, like when you should, when you shouldn't. So how would you coach someone, you know, coming in that's like, dude, hey, you should really do it this way, and for X, Y, and Z?
It's actually a really good question, because when I started, and I was only a stagehand at the time, and I was freelance for LNG, I went in for, I think Murdoch might have been teaching it. It was a Pinnacle 9000, an old video switcher.
Sure.
They were talking about macros way over my head.
Oh.
And I was in there for the class.
Yeah,
I didn't understand what they were talking about. I didn't go out and sell myself as an operator at that point.
Hang on. Sorry.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. What can you serve for you?
Hi, can I please have a small pike place with cream and sugar?
A small bike with cream and sugar. What else for you?
Small iced coffee.
And a small iced coffee
Okay.
With cream and sugar.
with cream and sugar,
That's it.
and that's it.
Okay. And how many sugars did you want in the pike?
2, please.
Can you do one in each?
Let's see over the window.
Can we do one in the iced one as well? I'm sorry.
Just one
Yes.
bump of sugar in that
Yes.
coffee?
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're both tall?
Yes.
Got you. Anything else?
Can we have 2 birthday cake pops as well?
2 birthday cake pops? What
Yes.
else?
That's it.
All right, 1310 on the window.
All right, thanks.
I hate their sizes. Tall. I want a small. You want mean tall? Whatever small is.
There's like, what's that movie with Paul Rudd where he's like, oh, I'll take a regular. And they're like, I don't know. And he's like, well, what's regular and normal people? Like, unit of measurement. Oh, it's like this. I'm like, oh man, I don't. And what's so funny is like all the times you go to Starbucks, for me, I always have to. Dude, it's like I've never ordered coffee before. You like,
what's the frappuccino?
No. For me, I'm like, where are the cups that tell you like you know, like
sizes.
yeah. I'm like, dude, where's the chart? You know,
They should have the cups outside.
Yeah.
So you
yeah,
see the
dude,
little.
Yeah, exactly. So like, but what you were saying about you know, the EDID and the
Yeah, the problem now is, like I said, when I took that class a long time ago as a stagehand, just because I took this switcher class didn't mean I can go run it, because I didn't understand video properly yet.
Yeah.
The problem now is, if I hire a video engineer, they better be able to jump in projection. They should be able to do projection, not actually do it on show, but understand it and how to do it.
Sure.
Every position. Nowadays, if someone takes the E2 class, they go out their E2 up, they can't do anything else on show. And I don't think I think you're forgetting the fundamentals. It's not just about the software, it's the position you're holding.
Sure.
And then getting in that hot seat, yeah, you took the class and everything. Build a preset live in the middle of the show when they want something else to happen without being scared and crashing the system. You know,
My bad.
is that important?
Well, no, they put on airplane mode.
Hi there. Hello again.
Alright.
Alrighty, it's 1310.
Alright.
Alrighty, here's 2 birthday cake pops. Tall coffee.
Cool, thank you.
Netflix is gonna love us.
Oh,
Seinfeld's gonna hate us.
Coffee.
cool. And if I have a receipt as well?
Yeah.
I can't.
Definitely get that receipt.
My hand won't stop shaking. That's how much coffee.
Oh, no. I did that once when I was
Yeah.
training. I just kept drinking coffee. I'm like, I
Not
can't drink
realize
this
it,
much
yeah.
caffeine.
You think it's okay that you're driving?
I'll be fine. Cheers.
Just get there faster. I never had one. Have you?
My son gets them. Cheers. So the audacity of this guy to go back on this conversation was this dude. The only thing he can think of that worked was I'm gonna power every single LED off at the breaker and turn them back on. Cause you know you turn them on, it flashes.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone was like, "You sure about that, boss?" Or like, "It's got no other option, man." And you know, I applaud him for pulling this off. That
It worked?
it totally worked, but everyone thought it was a part of the show and the effect. And yeah. Because it was like you saw like the panels when they found that little flash. Everyone literally thought it was like, oh dude, that is the coolest content ever. Oh yeah, we got that, no problem. I applaud it. I was like, man, I'm gonna buy you dinner, man.
That's your last resort.
Yeah. It's just another tip of the trade, I guess.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You do that with some gear.
Yeah.
It'll condensate inside and ruin
Sure.
it. So you have to leave it on.
What would you say, like for some outsiders, for everyone not really familiar with like Evolve and like the project manager, like being on site, you know what I mean? What would you say as a project what would you say your leadership style is as a project manager? And what advice would you say would you have for anyone new coming in? You know what I mean? As kind of like, hey,
coming in as a tech,
or just anything. Yeah, absolutely.
I think the most important thing nowadays that techs they're not as well rounded as we were a long time ago. Like I was saying, they're too into one position. It's not even that one position. It might be one piece of gear. That's all they know.
Sure.
Like I know some media server ops. The only thing they know is disguise.
Yeah.
They don't know anything else, and they won't do it anything else. And on site, they don't understand how the E2 works at all. Just that. And I'm like, okay, you know the software great, but you don't know the position. You know, you're a disguise op, not a media server op at that point.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people come in now and they stop, once they get that, they stop learning more skills.
They just stop.
Like, I'm not a media server op,
Sure.
but I can I know them, and if a new one comes in, I want to check it out, put my hands on it.
Yeah.
I'm not anything. You know, I will stay away from audio and lighting for the most part, but video-wise, you got to know it all.
Sure.
So, nowadays, people, if they don't have it, don't see it, don't want to know it, but even some gear, you know, realistically, I just need to know what we have at Evolve, but sometimes our gear, you know, interacts with other people's gear, and they have something we don't have, so we have to learn how theirs works, so our equipment can work with their equipment.
Yeah. Wow. That is one perspective that I haven't heard yet, actually. So that's good. By the way,
Really
you're
good.
just gone.
That K-pop didn't stand a chance.
I barely bit mine. So, well, that's cool, man. Like, where do I turn?
Lancaster.
At this light?
You passed it.
Okay. Next light. All right.
Yeah, go to Sand Lake. Keep going.
So, let's say tomorrow, pop up, dude. You need to get on a flight. What's like the one thing that you have to throw in your toolbox that you can't live without?
Besides a laptop?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Like I just made that.
Man, I wish the front camera was working because I'm learning a lot about Orlando.
Welcome to Orlando.
Yeah.
Welcome to Orlando.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. This one make a left, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Follow the guy that just almost sideswiped us.
Hey man, what's up?
That was to be sitting next to the light. Besides a laptop, nowadays it's a lot of like dongles and adapters, I guess. A disto as a PM.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to say as a PM. I don't think I need as much. When I was an engineer, there was a lot of stuff I wanted to bring. Extra Cat 5 cable, maybe a decimator with me.
Adapters for days.
Yeah, as a PM, if anything, to be honest, I sometimes bring things that I might need to know to cover a technician or someone else on site too that they might not bring.
Yeah.
Like they don't know about this
Of course. Yeah.
There he goes again. Oh, you got cut off twice by the same car. You could have just taken it in the spot. It would be right there.
Yeah. But that's cool, man.
Also, a little secret about Orlando. Read the license plates, see the expiration dates. If it says PM on it, it's a rental car.
Hold on, is this one, please tell me this one's still working? No, of course not. If it says
PM where the expiration date is, it's a rental.
Oh. Cool.
So, like your car, this one says PM on it, but it's good to know. It's for some reason. You get cut off, you'd be like, oh, a rental guy.
What, so walk me through like the flow of like when you first get assigned a project with clients and stuff. I think it'd be cool to hear that perspective. You know what I mean?
At Evolve, how I do it?
Yeah.
Now,
just so people watch, the kids watching at home are like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, all right.
If you get a quote or an RFP from a client, sales will put the quote together, and I'll look through it for missing items, whether it be a router or
just anything,
stuff like that. But you know what really helps more than anything is whether you need it or give it to other people on site is I just do a wiring diagram from front to back, start to finish, signal flow all the way through, because I might think I have everything, and when you do that, you're like, you know what, we have to get a multiview in front of house. We can do, and there's different kind of stuff you might have missed. And a wiring diagram will help you be short a decimator, maybe a DA, stuff like that you might think. That helps a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, signal flow, front end to back end.
Sure.
And then power, like length. Like when you came in the office, I was looking and I needed one more power cable for my other stack of projectors. So I'm starting to do the wiring diagram for power and signal.
Sweet.
Yeah, actually, now in a tech kit, I would say if you want to bring something that's a really good piece of equipment, it'd be a test monitor that also outputs a signal.
Yeah.
So you can have a signal generator and a test monitor in one.
I am a fan of, I carry two, and I'm a massive fan of anything that also records.
Yeah.
Because,
that's what the monitors we have do that.
Sometimes, I'll go out as an add-on on a major tour, like, hey, they're doing some mapping, or, just an example, they're doing some last-minute mapping for an added stop, right? There'll be like a fiber issue or something like that. Signal going out, obviously engineer, will like, hey, have you checked this and that, And for me, I try and be above and beyond prepared, and I absolutely hate this about myself. I can't just let things live. So like for me, it's like if I see a signal going out for like, weird fiber or whatever, and I know for a fact it's not on the catch side of things, I love to record and like walk all the way back to the engineering, whatever. I'm like, dude, look, we need to figure this out. It's not me or you, it's something, you know what I mean? I'm not calling anyone out or anything, I'm just showing you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fact that you have some proof behind of, just to make sure, not to, cover yourself or, just to one up, it's just to globally show like, hey, there's something a little bit deeper. We need to do this together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of, the Atmos I love, but I think for convenience, I think the Black Magic ones
That's what
like that. I have the 12G and the 3G. They're just small and light. Outside of the big old Atmos kit,
They're probably cheaper too. I'm not a huge Black Magic fan, but those do the job perfectly.
Just for testing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, dude, I think that's it. We're back at the shop, man. It was nice kicking it with you.
Yeah. Good one.
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay.
Oh, mine just died.
Oh, okay.
Now we're on his one.
Oh my god, dude.